I blocked him, changed my number, deleted every app we'd used to talk. That should have been the end of it. We only dated for 6 weeks, but it burned fast and got weird even faster. He had this way of making small things feel too big. A dinner turned into a 4-course declaration of love. A walk in the park ended with him whispering things like, "I don't know how I ever lived before you." We'd only been seeing each other for 3 weeks. So I ended it. Politely. I even told him he was a good guy, just not for me. He didn't take it well. The messages turned cold, then bitter, then nothing. I thought he'd moved on. I prayed he had. But the next morning, I opened the fridge, and there they were. Fresh roses. 12 of them, deep red. Dew still on the petals like they'd just been picked. Wrapped in black silk ribbon, no card, no note, just sitting there between the oat milk and the spinach I swore I'd eat this week. I just stood there, my breath held tight in my chest. I live alone. My door was locked, the windows too. I even checked the cameras from my building's hallway. Nothing, no entry, but someone, he, had been inside. I threw the flowers out immediately, scrubbed the fridge down like it was crime scene cleanup. I convinced myself maybe, somehow, I left the door open. Maybe a neighbor was playing some sick joke. Something. Anything. For the next few nights, I didn't sleep much. I double-checked the locks, left the light on in the kitchen, slept with a metal flashlight beside me. But nothing else happened until Thursday. That morning, I opened the fridge and jumped back so hard I knocked over a chair. This time, there weren't flowers. There was a photo. A Polaroid taped to the inside of the fridge door. It was me, sleeping, face half buried in the pillow. Tank top, messy bun, exactly how I'd gone to bed the night before. Or maybe the night before that. I couldn't remember, but I knew that photo hadn't existed before. It wasn't from my phone. I checked. No one else had it. And I had no idea how long he'd been watching me. I didn't call the police. I should have, but I didn't. I didn't want to sound crazy, didn't want to say the words out loud. Instead, I packed a bag and stayed at my friend Tanya's for the weekend. Told her I needed a break from my place. Left out the part about the fridge stalker. Monday morning, I went back home. It felt empty, like the walls were holding their breath. But everything was fine, nothing new. I finally exhaled. Until Wednesday. I came home from work to find the power out in my apartment. Not the whole building, just my unit. The lights were dead, and so was the fridge. The air was heavy with the smell of spoiled food. I held my breath, walked to the fridge, and opened it. This time, it wasn't what was inside that scared me. It was what wasn't. The shelves had been cleared out. Everything gone, except one thing. Sitting perfectly centered on the top shelf. My phone. Not my current one, my old phone. The one I smashed with a hammer in the bathtub after the breakup. The one I made a whole show of destroying, because I was paranoid he'd somehow cloned it or hacked it or who knows what. It was powered on, glowing, and the background image made my skin go cold. It was me, standing in the kitchen, wearing the same clothes I had on right now. It wasn't a photo, it was a live image, like someone had taken a picture of me from somewhere in the room, seconds ago. Then the screen blinked. A notification rolled across it. You looked hungry. Thought I'd feed the fear a little. I backed away, slowly, until my spine hit the wall behind me. Then I heard the door creak. Not the front door, the hallway closet, the one I never use, the one too shallow for coats, the one I'd found locked when I first moved in, and left that way ever since. But now it was open, just an inch. Enough to show the darkness inside. I didn't wait. I ran. I grabbed my keys and my current phone and bolted out of the apartment. I didn't even lock the door behind me. I drove, no destination, just a way. I finally stopped in a gas station parking lot 30 miles out. I sat there, engine running, hands shaking. I called the cops, told them someone had been inside my apartment. Told them I had reason to believe it was an ex. Gave them the whole story. They said they'd send someone. I gave them the address and told them I wouldn't be there, that I was scared for my life. I never went back to that apartment. I paid to have my lease broken. Changed my name on everything I could. Moved across the city, changed jobs, changed routines. That was 2 years ago. But sometimes I still feel it. Like a presence behind me when I open the fridge. Like the silence just after I close it. Like the fridge is holding its breath. And the weirdest part? I bought a brand new one when I moved. Brand new fridge. Different color, different model. But twice now, I've come home to find it open. Not wide, just a little. Like someone left it that way, to let me know they still remember. I remember the exact moment she said it. We were walking out of the Thai place on 6th Street, the one with the string lights and uneven sidewalk. She stopped under a lamppost, reached for my hand, smiled, and said, "You're not like him. You're better than him. But you remind me so much of him." I didn't know who him was. She didn't elaborate, and I didn't ask. I should have. But that was date 3, and everything still felt new, exciting. A little weird, sure, but aren't we all? Her name was Cass. Big eyes, quiet laugh, a little reserved, but in a way that made you want to lean in closer. We met on an app, messaged back and forth for a couple of weeks, and eventually met up for drinks. The first date was fine, nothing crazy. The second date was great. She'd surprised me with tickets to a retro film screening because I mentioned in passing that I liked old horror movies. Thoughtful, sweet. At least, that's what I thought. It wasn't until around date 5 that I started noticing patterns. We'd meet up, and she'd have the whole night planned. Not just general ideas, but exact plans. Same restaurant, same table. She always requested it. When I asked how she got the same booth each time, she said the staff remembered her. That should have been a red flag. Then one night she said, "Let's watch a movie at your place. I'll bring popcorn, and that exact same blanket you had last week, the blue one, don't forget it." That was weird too, because I didn't remember ever showing her that blanket. Not in a picture, not on a call, not in person. But when she showed up, she brought her own set of pajamas, men's size large, too big for her. They looked old, worn. She handed them to me and said, "You should wear these. They'll look better on you." I laughed it off, made a joke, but inside I felt off, like I was missing something important. Still, I liked her. We got along. There was something magnetic about the way she'd look at me, like she was waiting for me to become someone else. On our 7th date, I noticed a photo in her hallway I hadn't seen before. It was in a small black frame, half hidden behind a plant. The man in it looked familiar. I stood there staring at it, trying to place him. Same messy hair, same narrow jawline, same building. It looked like me, but slightly different. Cass caught me staring. She just smiled. "That's him," she said, "the one I told you about, the one you're better than." And then she said something that hit me like a punch. "But you're finally catching up. Almost perfect now." I left early that night. Told her I had work in the morning. She didn't seem upset, just kissed me on the cheek and said, "It's okay. We'll finish what we started next time." I didn't sleep. The next day, I searched everything I could think of. Her Instagram, tagged photos, even mutual connections. No sign of the guy, no pictures, no name. It was like he didn't exist. But someone else did. A Reddit thread buried under local ex-horror stories led me to a comment. If anyone in the Portland area dated a girl named Cass who was into rituals and routines, please DM me. I need to talk. I clicked. The account was deleted. That night, I decided to confront her. Not aggressively, just ask her straight out who he was and why I looked so much like him. But she beat me to it. Before I could even knock, she opened the door, holding a new shirt, dark green. Same brand and size as the ones I wear, just a slightly different cut. More fitted. "Try this on," she said. "I want to see something." I asked, "Cass, who was that guy in the photo?" She blinked slowly, then smiled. "Don't worry, he's gone now. But I still have the pieces I liked." I asked what that meant. She didn't answer. Instead, she stepped aside and said, "You always used to ask so many questions too." I missed that part. I left. I didn't slam the door. I didn't yell. I just walked down the steps, out of the building, and drove away. That should have been the end. But then the email started. From a new address, no subject lines, just messages like, "Try the green shirt with the dark jeans. You'll see. Don't shave this week. You looked better with the stubble. Stop running. You know you want to finish this." I blocked the address. They kept coming. Eventually, I moved, got a new phone, changed my number. 1 month later, I was on a date with someone new, casual, just coffee. She complimented my shirt, the dark green one. I told her it was a recent gift. She smiled. "Oh, was it from Cass? She said you'd look great in that." I froze. "Wait, how do you know Cass?" She tilted her head, confused. "You told me about her, remember, on our second date?" We hadn't had a second date. That night, I checked my photos. The selfie we took outside the cafe, my arm around her. I wasn't smiling, not like I remembered. And neither was she. He said it like it was a joke. I had just laughed at a video he sent me, something random on TikTok, and I made a dumb pun about it, just playing around. And that's when he froze, tilted his head slightly, and said, "You weren't supposed to say that. You glitched." I laughed awkwardly, thinking he was just being weird. But he didn't laugh with me. He just smiled, the kind of smile that feels rehearsed, like someone performing joy. We were only 2 months in at that point. I'd met him on Bumble, and everything at first had seemed normal, sweet. Too good to be true, even. His name was Theo. Tall, quiet, very into tech. Always had the newest phone, the weirdest apps. I remember he once told me, "There's an app for everything, even people." I thought he was just being nerdy. But after that "you glitched" moment, things started to feel scripted, literally. Like one night we were watching a movie and I made a joke he didn't hear. I repeated it. He smiled and said, "That's exactly what you said last time." Word for word. "Last time?" I asked. He shrugged. "Never mind, just déjà vu." But it wasn't. I hadn't said it before, not even close. The next day, he showed up at my apartment with takeout. My favorite, Pad See Ew extra crispy tofu. "How did you know this was my favorite?" I asked, laughing. He paused. "You said it during your third date. This is our third date?" He blinked once, slowly. "Yeah, sorry, I just guessed." The weird thing? I had said it, but not to him. I'd said it to my friend Anna on FaceTime 2 nights earlier. He'd never been in the room, never on the call, unless he was listening. I started getting paranoid. I checked my phone, turned off every microphone permission, started taking my laptop out of the room when I changed clothes, covered my webcam with a sticker. It didn't matter. One night I woke up and my phone was glowing on my nightstand. It was open to the Notes app. Just 2 lines on the screen. System integrity check failed. Reset required. I asked him the next day if he'd been at my place. He smiled again, too calm. "You always ask that. Right around this part of the story." "What story?" "Never mind, you'll remember soon." I stopped seeing him for a while, blocked him. But he didn't message me, he didn't call, he just waited. And that somehow made it worse. Until one night, I walked into my apartment and everything was wrong. Not in a big way, nothing was broken or missing, but everything was shifted slightly. Furniture rotated just an inch. Pillows flipped over. Even the timestamp on my microwave was blinking 4:04, like an error code. When I turned on the TV, it was already set to HDMI 3, a source I never use. The screen was black, but a few seconds later, words appeared in white, pixelated font. "You weren't supposed to block me." I yanked the TV cord out of the wall. That night, I didn't sleep. The next morning, I got a package on my doorstep. No return address, just a small white box. Inside was a flash drive and a note. "Try not to crash this time." I took it to the library, plugged it into one of their public computers. My hands were shaking so badly I almost dropped it. There was only one file on the drive, a video titled Session 43. It opened with grainy surveillance footage, a top-down angle of a bedroom. My bedroom. In the video, I watched myself walk in, set my purse down, kick off my shoes, then freeze. Because in the video, the bed was already messed up, like someone had been lying there. But I knew I'd made it that morning. The video glitched, skipped, and then cut to another angle, a camera from inside my fridge. I saw myself open the door, blink, then scream. I closed the video, pulled the drive, slammed the computer shut. When I turned around, Theo was standing in the lobby of the library. He didn't say a word, just held out a small remote and clicked it once. My phone buzzed, screen cracked. "System update complete," it read. Then it powered down completely and wouldn't turn back on. I walked out of the library without looking back. That night, I got a text from a number I didn't recognize. "We can keep rebooting this as many times as it takes." That was the night I finally called the cops, told them everything. They filed a report, said they'd look into it. But without a name, a real address, anything trackable, they couldn't do much. So I moved, again, new city, new phone, new name on the lease. For a while, it worked, until 3 days ago. I came home to find a sticky note on my bathroom mirror, my new place, my locked apartment. One sentence, written in neat block letters. "You're not supposed to remember this version." I checked every lock, every camera, every entry point. Nothing. No signs of forced entry, no footage, just the note. And this morning, when I woke up, I heard a soft voice coming from my closet. It whispered, "Don't panic, this loop is almost done." I don't know who I am to him. A game piece, a memory, a glitch in whatever story he thinks we're in. But I know one thing, I'm not the first version. And if I don't stop him, I won't be the last. It started so subtly that I thought I was imagining it. The first time, I had just come home from work. It was a late shift, and I was exhausted. The kind of exhausted where your body feels heavier than your thoughts. I dropped my bag, kicked off my shoes, and collapsed face first into bed. That's when I noticed it. The sheets were warm, not just room temperature sunlit warm, body warm, the way a mattress feels when someone's been lying on one side for a while. My bedroom was cool, the windows shut, and I live alone. I sat up, slowly, confused. Did I forget to turn off the heated blanket? No, I hadn't used that thing in months. I don't like sleeping hot. I pressed my hand into the middle of the bed, cold, but the left side, it was definitely still warm, and it smelled faintly of something unfamiliar. Not bad, just not mine. A deep, peppery cologne. I tried to shake it off. Maybe the sunlight had hit it weird. Maybe I was just tired and paranoid. I changed the sheets, told myself I was being ridiculous, and went to sleep. The next night it happened again. This time I checked as soon as I got home. Dropped everything and went straight to the bedroom. Same thing, The bed was warm on one side. My side, the imprint of a body was still there, like someone had just rolled off. I checked the locks. Front door, windows, back sliding door, all secure. Still, I started keeping the bedroom door shut from then on, locked even. I set up a cheap motion sensor camera in the hallway just in case. I didn't know what I expected to catch. Honestly, I hoped it would be nothing. But that third night, I caught something. I got home, checked the camera footage immediately. Most of it was blank. Just normal hallway stillness. Until 2:14 a.m., a flicker. Then the hallway light came on. No figure, no movement, just the light. As if someone had walked under the motion sensor and passed through. But no one appeared on screen. It triggered, then silence. When I opened the bedroom door that night, the air inside was heavier. Still. I stood there for a full minute before flicking on the light. Everything looked untouched. Until I stepped closer and saw it. My pillow was flipped over. The colder side was now facing up. I stood there, heart pounding, until a text buzzed on my phone. No name, just a number I didn't recognize. "Do you like it when it's warm for you?" I dropped the phone. I didn't reply, didn't block the number, I just froze. I started sleeping on the couch after that. Locked the bedroom door, bought a door stopper. Every night became a ritual of checking locks, setting up the camera, stacking chairs against doors. I thought it was working. For 4 nights, nothing happened. Until the 5th. I woke up on the couch groggy. Something was off. I reached for my blanket, and it was gone. Not just off me, completely gone, vanished. I stood up slowly. My phone was still in my hand. I checked it. A single message. "Blanket's warm for you now." I opened the bedroom door. The bed was made. Sheets tight, corners tucked. My missing blanket folded neatly at the foot. My pajamas, the ones I never wear, laid out beside it. I backed away. I went straight to the police, filed a report, gave them everything. The footage, the texts, the time logs. They took it seriously, at least at first. But there was no sign of forced entry, no fingerprints. The camera footage showed nothing. Just lights turning on and off. Things appearing and disappearing. They installed a temporary patrol in my area. Suggested I stay somewhere else. I moved in with my sister for a while, and for 3 weeks, nothing. No texts, no strange warmth. Until one night, I was helping my sister clean out her linen closet, and she asked, "Why do your sheets smell like cologne?" I hadn't brought any bedding. I checked my overnight bag, and there it was. Folded neatly inside, my missing blanket. But it didn't smell like me, it smelled like him, and I don't know who he is. When I went back home, I expected everything to be trashed. I braced for the worst, but it was spotless. Spotless, like someone had been taking care of it. The floors were vacuumed, the dishes done. Even the trash had been taken out. On the bed, my favorite book was waiting, open to a chapter I hadn't reached yet. The bookmarked page, a highlighted quote, "The comfort of someone knowing you, even when you don't know them." I called the cops again. They searched. Again, nothing. No signs of break-in, no hidden cameras, no fingerprints. They told me someone must have had a copy of my key. I had the locks changed that night, triple deadbolts, window bars. I even nailed my bedroom door shut. And still, last night I came home late. Lights were off, house was silent. But when I opened the fridge, there was a Tupperware container, my favorite pasta, still warm, and a note taped to the lid. "Thought you might be tired tonight." I didn't eat it. I didn't throw it out either. I just sat there staring at it, feeling like a guest in my own life. This morning, I checked my hallway camera again. Nothing. But the bedroom cam, the one I'd hidden behind the bookshelf, it was gone. Just a single image saved from the night before. Me in bed, asleep, and the edge of a man's arm caught in the frame, resting behind my head, like he was lying there too. I think the worst part is that I don't even know if he's doing it to hurt me, or if this is just how he moves through the world now. I met Darren 2 years ago through a mutual friend at a birthday dinner. It wasn't love at first sight, but it was comfortable. He listened when I talked, remembered the names of my siblings, sent flowers to my work after our third date, even though I never told him where I worked. That should have been a red flag, right? But I thought he must have asked someone. Or maybe I mentioned it and forgot. Looking back, I think I wanted to be wanted that badly. The relationship lasted 6 months, somewhere between intense and unstable. 1 week we were talking about moving in together. The next, he'd disappear for days with no explanation. Every time I brought it up, he said, "You get in your head too much." And maybe I did. Until the night he ghosted me. Not just stopped texting, disappeared. Blocked me on everything. No call, no closure, just gone. That was almost a year ago. And then I saw him again, at the grocery store, in the frozen food aisle, holding the same oat milk ice cream we used to share. I froze, took a step forward. I didn't know what I wanted. Closure? A scream? Maybe just a, "Hey, sorry." "Darren," I said. He looked at me, not startled, not guilty, just blank. "Sorry?" he asked. "It's me, Jenna." He tilted his head, squinting like I was a stranger trying to sell him something. "I think you've got the wrong person." Then he walked away. I stood there, heart pounding, wondering if I'd just hallucinated 6 months of my life. I wanted to believe I'd made a mistake, but I hadn't, because that weekend I saw him again at my gym, same hoodie, same shoes. On the rowing machine, I made eye contact. He looked at me, held the stare this time, and then smiled politely. Like I was just another person passing by. Nothing in his expression, not a flicker of recognition. So I tested it. I walked past him on purpose, slowly. "Good workout," I said. He nodded. "Getting there," he replied, his voice exact same. I went straight to the front desk, asked if anyone by the name Darren T. Dash had a membership. The girl checked. "No one by that name," she said. I almost asked to see their security footage, but I stopped myself. I knew how it would look. For the next few weeks, I saw him everywhere. Always casual, always coincidental. The same bookstore I took him to once, browsing the psychology section, the cafe across from my office, ordering my usual drink. I thought I was losing it, until I finally took a photo of him sitting across the street from my building, sent it to my friend Bree. "This is Darren, tell me I'm not crazy," she replied 5 minutes later. "That's not him, looks similar but not him." But I knew it was him, so I zoomed in on the photo and noticed something chilling. He was looking straight at the camera, straight at me, no reaction, no smile, no acknowledgement, just watching. The next day, my therapist asked if I'd been under stress lately. I told her I felt like someone was shadowing my life. She smiled gently and asked, "And how does that make you feel?" "Like I'm being erased," I said. "Like he's still here, but pretending I'm the ghost." She didn't get it. No one did, until the packages started arriving. Every few days, something I used to own. A mug I lost after the breakup. My old hoodie with the stain on the sleeve. Even a book with my name written inside, in my handwriting. No return address. One night, I opened my mailbox and found a small black envelope. Inside was a single piece of paper. Printed in small, neat font, "I never left. I just switched roles." I moved apartments the next week. New neighborhood, new locks, new everything. Changed my routine, changed my number. And for a while, it worked. Until one night I got a call from a number I didn't recognize. I let it go to voicemail, listened to it with shaking hands. It was the sound of someone breathing, calm, slow, and then a single sentence, whispered like a lullaby. "I'm so proud of you for trying to move on." Click. The next day, I got an email. No subject, no body, just an attachment. A photo of me, asleep in my new bed. Different sheets, different layout. No one else knew where I lived yet. I took the photo to the police. They said they'd look into it. Took a statement. Advised me to stay vigilant. But no name, no evidence. Nothing they could do. I looked up the term later. Masked stalking. When someone pretends not to know you, even while actively invading your life. No harassment, no violence, just presence. A quiet, persistent existence in your world, like background noise you can't turn off. It's been 2 months now. I haven't seen him since, but sometimes when I walk into a room, it feels like someone just left. And once in a while, I'll pass someone on the street, and he'll smile politely, not like a stranger, not like a friend, but like someone who knows every single thing about you and is choosing not to say a word. It always starts the same way. A new guy, a first date, some drinks, maybe dinner, maybe just coffee, a good conversation, nothing serious. And then, without fail, within 24 hours, they go quiet. No reply, no follow-up, no second date, and I know exactly why. Because he's still out there, watching, waiting, sending messages. The first time it happened, I blamed myself. Maybe I overshared, maybe I wasn't funny enough, maybe I gave the wrong impression. But then I ran into that guy, Josh, a week later at a bar. He looked uncomfortable when he saw me, like I'd caught him doing something he wasn't supposed to. I asked him what happened, why he'd ghosted. He hesitated. "I didn't want to get involved," he finally said, "with all that." "All what?" I asked. He just shook his head. "He messaged me, your ex, told me what you're really like, said I should be careful. He sent pictures." "Pictures?" I pressed him, but he wouldn't show me, just muttered something about not wanting drama and left. That was the first time I knew for sure. Ryan was sabotaging my life. We'd only dated for 4 months. It wasn't even that serious, not to me. But apparently to him it was everything. When I broke things off, he didn't scream or threaten, he didn't cry or beg. He just said, "Okay," and disappeared. No calls, no posts, just gone, or so I thought. The second guy, Daniel, canceled our plans last minute. Said he had food poisoning, but the way he said it felt rehearsed. So I created a fake dating profile, used different photos, matched with Daniel using a new name. I asked him what had happened with that girl Jenna. He spilled everything. I was gonna go out with her, yeah, but her ex messaged me, like, a lot. He said she's mentally unstable, that she stalks people, that she had a breakdown last year and was institutionalized. He even sent a screenshot from some hospital form. Looked legit. It wasn't, but it was enough. Daniel never spoke to me again. Neither did the next 3 guys. I changed my number, deleted my social media, made everything private. But it didn't matter. He still found them. Somehow, some way, he always found them. Then one night, I was out with this guy named Theo. Great guy, smart, funny, genuinely kind. We were walking down the street when he stopped, looked at his phone, and just went pale. "Hey," he said, "this is gonna sound weird, but is your name really Jenna?" My stomach dropped. "Yeah, why?" He showed me his screen, an Instagram DM request, from a blank account, no profile picture. The message said, "You deserve the truth about Jenna. She's dangerous. Ask her what she did to me. Ask her why she's hiding who she really is." I took his phone, blocked the account, handed it back. "That's my ex," I said. "He does this." Theo didn't say anything right away, just nodded, then said he had to go. He never texted again. That night, I got a message from a random number. "You should thank me. They weren't good enough for you anyway." I blocked the number. Of course I did. But the next day, I got an email from a different one. "I'll know when you find the right one. That's when I'll stop." I didn't answer. But my hands were shaking so badly I dropped my phone in the sink. I went to the police. Again. I showed them the screenshots, the patterns, the messages. I begged them to do something. They said without direct threats, there wasn't much they could pursue. "It's creepy, yes, but not technically illegal." That's what they told me. So, I did the only thing I could think of. I stopped dating for almost a year. I didn't go out, didn't flirt, didn't make eye contact with strangers. And for a while, he went quiet. Until 3 weeks ago, I met someone. Accidentally, not on an app, not through friends. Just someone who held the door for me at the library and smiled. His name was Caleb, and we clicked. He didn't push, didn't pressure, just texted sometimes and made me laugh. I didn't even tell him my last name. But on our third date, I noticed something. He was distracted, checking his phone too often, typing, deleting, typing again. "Everything okay?" I asked. He hesitated, then said, "Yeah, just work stuff." But I knew, so I asked him, straight out, "Did someone message you about me?" He looked up, startled. "Yeah, I wasn't going to bring it up, but yeah." "Did he say I was crazy?" I asked. He nodded. "And that I lie to people, manipulate them?" Another nod. "And that I ruined his life?" One more. "Did he send pictures?" Caleb's eyes dropped. "Just one. Of you. Sleeping." My throat closed. "Where were you when he sent it?" "At your place, last week." He hadn't posted anything. I hadn't either. There was no way anyone could have known we were together that night unless Ryan had been there, watching, recording, sending proof. That night I didn't sleep. I sat by the window with a knife in my hand and the porch light off, just waiting. He never came. Or if he did, he was smart enough to stay hidden. I haven't heard from Caleb since. I don't blame him. But yesterday I got a letter. An actual, physical letter in the mail. No return address, no name, just one sentence. Still not the right one, but I'm always watching, just in case. It was just a game. That's what I kept telling myself. I didn't even know he played games, honestly. When we were together, he never mentioned it. Never so much as touched a controller. But one day, almost a year after our breakup, I got a message from a friend. "Hey, is this your place?" Attached was a screenshot from some weird simulation game. Think The Sims, but more detailed. Photorealistic graphics, soft lighting, every item manually placed. It showed an apartment. My apartment. Same bookshelf, same exact mug with the crack in the handle. Same crooked floorboard in the corner that I always meant to fix. Same scarf hanging off the back of the couch. It wasn't inspired by my apartment, it was my apartment. I felt cold just looking at it. I messaged her back. "Where did you find this?" I was watching a Twitch stream. This guy was showing off his custom build, said it's his favorite version. Favorite version? I made her send me the link. The streamer's account name didn't say much. No photo, just a generic handle. But the voice? The voice was his. Ethan, my ex. We hadn't spoken in over 10 months. The breakup had been messy. Emotional manipulation, gaslighting, lies layered on top of lies. He made me question everything about myself until the only way out was total silence. I blocked him on everything. Changed my number. Got a new apartment on the other side of the city. I thought he was gone. But now I was staring at a live stream of my life, reconstructed in code. He was walking a female avatar, short brown hair, same hoodie I wore on our second date, through a space that mirrored every single detail of my home. And then she spoke. Not just voice acted, not text-to-speech. It was my voice. He must have spliced recording, stitched together things I'd said, maybe from voicemails or old videos. It didn't sound perfect, slightly robotic, a little off, but it was undeniably me. "I love it when you come home early," she said. Then he replied, "I'll always come back to you." The chat was empty. No viewers but my friend. He must have been streaming only to test it, or maybe just for himself. I watched for 10 minutes. Couldn't look away. He took me to the kitchen. Had her sit on the counter, swinging her legs, just like I used to do when we made breakfast together. Then he changed her outfit to the dress I wore on our anniversary. I exited the stream, closed my laptop, sat in silence. Then I checked my front door. Locked. Windows? Locked. But I still felt watched, like I wasn't alone. I didn't sleep that night. I kept thinking about the word he'd used. Version. Favorite version. Had there been other versions? Other me's? The next day, I reinstalled an old game we used to play together. We'd stopped around level 30, and I hadn't logged in since the breakup. My character was still there, but her name had been changed to version 3.4. The chat log had messages from his old account. Recent ones. This one isn't perfect either. Keeps making the wrong choices. Might reset again soon. I deleted the game immediately. That night I heard something. Not a sound, a voice. Coming from the other side of the wall. It was mine. I pressed my ear to the drywall and heard it again. A distorted version of something I'd said in a vlog years ago. "Hi, welcome back to my channel. Hope everyone's doing okay today." Looped. Played over and over. I knocked. Silence. Next day, I talked to my neighbor. Asked if they'd been watching videos late at night. "Nah," he said. "I thought that was you. I figured you were filming again." "Why would you think that?" "Well, you've had a ring light on in your bedroom the past few nights, right?" "I don't own a ring light." That night, I came home and found the door to my closet cracked open. I always keep it closed. Always. Inside, behind a stack of boxes, I found something small. A black USB drive, no label. I plugged it into a burner laptop. There was only one folder. Version 5.0. Inside, hundreds of screenshots, all from inside a game, different avatars, all some version of me. Different hair, different clothes, different apartments, but always me. Sometimes the captions were sweet. "Dinner with her tonight. She's learning to love me again." Other times they weren't. "Recting it. This one lied to me. Corrupted. Will delete soon." The final image was a new apartment, not mine. Not yet, but something about it felt close. Like he was building it from memory, and in the corner of the shot, barely visible in shadow, was me. The version of me he hadn't met yet. I filed a police report the next day, brought the screenshots, the stream link, the drive. They said they'd investigate. They took it seriously. But unless he physically threatened me or broke in again, there wasn't much they could do. That was 2 weeks ago. Since then, nothing's happened except... Sometimes when I pass a mirror, my reflection lags just for a second. Sometimes my microwave blinks error 5.0 before correcting itself. And last night I dreamed of a room I've never seen. Clean white walls, soft humming light, and a voice I barely recognized. "Welcome back, Jenna. This version will be better."